What's good, YouTube? Fanstrike Films bring you a brand new video today. Today we're doing something completely different. I've never done this before, but we're talking about Marvel instead of playing little games like Batman, Fortnite, whatever it may be. So when I say I'm talking about Marvel, I'm talking about, did Thanos' snap actually do anything? Now, obviously it did something, took out half the life, and you saw that in the movie Infinity War. But what I'm saying is, did it actually help? Did it do what he set out to do? And the easy, quick answer is no. It didn't actually technically do anything. Now, if you don't know what Thanos' snap was, I mean, you're living under a rock, but essentially all it was to take out half of living beings in the universe. Now, the idea was take out half the living beings, the other half will thrive, they won't go hungry, they'll be able to wake up happy, live a nice life. But what if I told you when he snapped, it technically did not do that, or shouldn't have done that, because in the movie it does what it wants because it's a movie. So what I mean when I say it technically didn't do that is it took out all of the living beings. Now I'm going to put up what a living being is right here. A living being is the property or quality that distinguishes living organisms from dead organisms and inanimate matter, manifested in functions such as metabolism, growth, reproduction, and response to stimuli or adaptation to the environment originating from within the organism. That, by definition, is a living being. So with that definition, a person is a living being, a horse is, a cat is, a dog is, a cow is, a chicken is, and a pig is. Do you see what I'm getting with that? Food are living beings. Now, no, a steak isn't a living being, but how do you get a steak? From a cow. So Thanos took out half of the food supply with the half of the people. So how can you thrive when half of the food supply is also taken? Now you might be saying, oh, well, what about plants? What about crops? Those are technically living beings too. By definition, a plant is a living organism. It grows and it takes in nutrients and it reproduces. So now, not only are the animals being cut in half with the people, but the plants are too. And if you want to say, oh, well, plants aren't actually living beings, they might be living, but they're not a being, then what is Groot? Because he is snapped away. If he stayed, maybe you could make this argument, but he is snapped away when Thanos does it. Now, if you don't know, Groot is in fact a tree. You might not believe it, but he is. Just because he can speak does not mean that he's not a tree. So with all that being said, when Thanos snapped, nothing actually happened at all. All that happened was the population was cut in half, but all the problems before are still there because the food supply is also cut in half. And that's not even getting into the people that work at these different places that if you take them out, now food's not getting around because you cut out some of the farmers. So now these animals are there to die because there's no farmer. And that's the easy way of putting how it didn't work, by saying, oh, well, just the people were cut in half, just the animals were cut in half, just the plants were cut in half. But in reality, the snap was random. So that could technically mean every living being on Earth could be taken out as long as a different planet still had all of theirs to counteract each other. And by that, it doesn't really help Thanos' idea either, because the whole idea was take out one half and the other one will thrive. But if you take out a whole planet by accident, because it's random, another planet is still the exact same and it can't thrive because it's not going to go to the other planet that was taken out and rehabitat it. That's just not how it's going to be because they don't know that. So basically the only way Thanos' plan can work is if the population is just taken out, not animals and not crops and not any other plants. But it also has to be just on a specific planet. It can't be just the universe, because when you do the universe, half of the living beings in the universe could be on one planet and another planet could not be even touched at all. Really, the best way Thanos had was what he was doing before he got the stones. When Thanos was going around to planet and taking out half the population, that was really doing more than what the stones could ever do for him. Slaughtering the people and leaving the other half with every bit of food supply they have was really what worked the best. And as bad as it is, that's the only way Thanos' idea could actually work. Because there's no real way that he can make the stones do exactly what he wants unless he goes into a full paragraph of pinpoint details of what his idea was on the snap. And from what it seems is the snap just does like a quick sentence of what you want. Like when Professor Hulk brought everyone back, it was just bring everyone back that Thanos snapped away and bring them back safely so that they're all back and there's no one falling out of the sky that was previously in an airplane. And when Tony did it at the end of Endgame, he wanted to kill all of Thanos' army and leaving Thanos for the end so he could watch everything. Now I know all this is just a movie, so it doesn't really matter. It's all really just for enjoyment. But I am saying Thanos is not a smart man. He does not think about things, because if we're being honest, if you grab the stones, double the food supply. Why are we cutting things in half when you could double stuff? There's no logical sense to cut it in half. Now, when you did have the stones, you have to, because you can't double food supply by manually doing it. I mean, you can, but it's too much. It doesn't work like that. When he had the stones, just double the supply, and everything is better. There's nobody waking up hungry because there's more food than there ever was before. So my end conclusion is Thanos is not smart, and I know the whole point is he's just the bad guy. He's taking out the half of the people. That's really all it is. It really don't have to go in deep about it. I just know that there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, well, Thanos was actually right. And in reality, when you really think about it, he was nowhere close to right. But hey, if you disagree with any of the things I said, just put it in the comment section, and maybe you could sway me the other way. I don't think you will, but you could try. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy that video, if you did enjoy these types of videos, maybe I could do more. Nobody's watching them, so nobody's enjoying it, alright. But on a real note, if you guys actually did enjoy the video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you in the next video.